After watching the play, Xiao Zhan spoke up, "I feel that this kind of play cannot really be considered a movie." Huo Lufi looked at Xiao Zhan and asked, "What do you mean?" The respected master also cast a curious glance, and Xiao Zhan replied, "In a distant country, movies are also called moving pictures or animated pictures. It is very clear that the images captured by the photographic stone are closer to cinema." Huo Lufi listened, filled with doubt. "The definition you mentioned, I have never heard of it on the Tian Qiong Continent." Xiao Zhan looked at Huo Lufi and said, "For example, to retell a person's story, then have an actor act according to the plot in the story, then using the photographic stone to capture it all, and finally project it. This is not more enjoyable and interesting than watching the shadow play." Shai Mengyi, listening to Xiao Zhan, immediately felt her pupils constrict, her cheeks flushed as she glanced at the villainous disciple. At that moment, an image of Xiao Zhan holding the photographic stone appeared in her mind, scaring her with the thought that if she revealed he used a seal to control her to exchange techniques, he would expose those images to the entire Tian Qiong Continent. Thinking of this, Shai Mengyi broke out in a cold sweat and sighed softly. On this side, Huo Lufi found Xiao Zhan's idea quite interesting. She smiled and said, "That's a good suggestion. We can definitely give it a try." Suddenly, a voice rang out, "Xiao Zhan, martial brother." Following that, a person walked towards Xiao Zhan. Standing before Xiao Zhan was a man dressed in red. He was the third young master of the ancient Yi family, Yi Hongyu. Yi Hongyu's face was filled with excitement, and he clasped his hands in greeting to Xiao Zhan, smiling broadly as he said, "We didn't mean to eavesdrop, we just happened over here. I feel that this idea of yours, martial brother, is truly brilliant, so I couldn't help but come over. I hope you can forgive me, Xiao Zhan, martial brother." Xiao Zhan tilted his head and glanced over, asking, "Who are you?" "I am Yi Hongyu, and I believe Xiao Zhan, martial brother, is familiar with the Yi family of Zhongzhou, right?" Upon hearing this, Xiao Zhan stood up and clasped his hands in greeting towards Yi Hongyu. The young man smiled and said, "So it's the young master of the ancient Yi family. I wonder what brings Yi martial brother to fight me today." Xiao Zhan thought to himself, "This person has quite a high cultivation level, already at the divine ability stage." Yi Hongyu leaned closer to Xiao Zhan and whispered, "Xiao Zhan, martial brother, could you tell me the details of this project of yours? I believe it can make a substantial profit." Xiao Zhan slightly bent over and moved. "Does Yi martial brother really find it interesting?" Yi Hongyu nodded eagerly and replied, "Of course, we can collaborate to make money. Xiao Zhan, martial brother, only needs to propose a method and you can earn 30% of the profits. What do you think? Please don't feel that 30% is little, you just have to point out the solution and I will ensure the financial backing and manpower." Later, they both sat down at the table. Xiao Zhan began to explain his idea in detail. Yi Hongyu took out paper and pen to jot it down. Finally, Yi Hongyu brought out a contract for both to sign. The cooperation between them was very pleasant. Witnessing this scene, Huo Lufi was curious and turned to Shai Mengyi to quietly ask, "What are they signing?" Shai Mengyi replied, "I don't know either, but it looks quite mysterious." The three of them returned to Taisu embassy together and was already late at night. Demonic Chu wanted to have a chat and share feelings with Huo Lufi after being apart for so long. The young man wanted to go back to the room with Huo Lufi to talk and exchange techniques all night, but respected master stood nearby, making Demonic Chu hesitate to speak. Holding Huo Lufi's hand, the young man hesitated and said, "Huo Lufi." Taisu Z was startled and turned to look at Xiao Zhan, softly exclaiming. Witnessing this scene, Shai Mengyi became furious and immediately sent a sound transmission shouting, "Villainous disciple, what else do you want to do? Hurry up and come back with me." Feeling the pressure and aura from respected master, Demonic Chu immediately smiled awkwardly and said, "Huo Lufi, you must be tired today, right? Go to bed early." "Okay, you should rest early too." Tai Suzy returned to her room with flushed cheeks. She was lost in her dreams about the future. If I really feel this way about Xiao Zhan, how should I address Meng Yi? Meng Yi or respected master? Ha! That's too embarrassing. Inside Shai Meng Yi's room, she immediately cast a soundproofing barrier. Respected master, Shai Meng Yi was now standing with her arms crossed, her eyes glaring at Xiao Zhan as she scolded him. "You really have some guts. You even dare to tease the elders of another sect, and you even shared candied hawthorn together." As soon as Shai Meng Yi finished speaking, Demonic Chu immediately took a skewered candied hawthorn from his storage ring and held it in his hand. The young man Xiao Zhan smiled brightly and said, "Actually, I bought this for you too, but it wasn't convenient to give it to you back then. You didn't want our relationship to be known by Huo Lufi, right?" Holding the skewer hawthorn, Shai Meng Yi let out a soft ha. What kind of relationship do we have? Are we just a pure master and disciple relationship? Besides, villainous disciple, you keep bringing up Ho Lu Fei in such a familiar way. After saying a few words, Shai Meng Yi quickly bit into several pieces of hawthorn, chewing angrily. While eating, she pouted. Don't think that this matter will be let go. You even gave her flowers and said she is more beautiful than flowers. Don't you find that disgusting? I want to feel disgusted on behalf of the whole elders. Suddenly, she opened her eyes wide in astonishment as she looked at the sweet potato skewer in her hand, because it was very delicious and very sweet. Speaking of flowers, Demonic Chu took out a light pink flower and moved closer to Shai Meng Yi, directly giving it to her. Here is your flower. Actually, it was meant to be a gift for the respected master. Look at this flower. Doesn't it resemble the sunset of solar star on the horizon? So beautiful that it moves the heart, but unfortunately it still pales in comparison to my precious respected master. When Shai Meng Yi saw the flower that Xiao Zhan gave her, she was stunned and her face immediately flushed beautifully. Although she was very touched inside, she pretended to be annoyed on the outside, huffing and scolding. You smooth talker, stop making others sick. Demonic Chu shamelessly continued to laugh heartily. My woman is beautiful. Isn't it right for me to compliment her a few times? Others admire her and would be envious. How can that be sickening? Hearing this, Shai Meng Yi angrily shouted, Impudent! Who is your woman? Don't talk nonsense. We are innocent. Don't think you can seduce me. Do you think I'm that easy to trick? Tell the truth. What is your relationship with the elder flower? Casting a wicked glance at respected master, Demonic Chu mocked, Respected master, tell me the truth. Are you jealous or not? Shai Meng Yi was taken aback and angrily shouted, Nonsense! How could I be jealous of you? Xiao Zhan sneered. If you are jealous, then why do you care what I do? Shai Meng Yi's eyes widened. I am your respected master. It's natural for me to be concerned about you. That's not it. If you were to manage me because of my identity as a woman, I would naturally accept that. But if you use your title as respected master to control me, then you clearly cannot manage me. Respected master felt that Xiao Zhan had a point, but she still refused to accept it. I don't care. Stay away from the whole elders. Xiao Zhan wore a look of helplessness, thinking, this beautiful woman is too arrogant, but very charming. Xiao Zhan wrapped his arms around Shai Meng Yi's waist and leaned close to her ear, speaking tenderly. Hey, you agree with me? You all are my wings. Why create division between us? As soon as these words were spoken, Shai Meng Yi struck Demonic Chu in the face, sending him sprawling to the floor. Shai Meng Yi unleashed the aura of the Great Saint Realm, suppressing the villainous disciple as she shouted angrily, Villainous disciple, you are truly shameless. It seems you haven't improved your aptitude lately and have excess energy. I'm warning you, don't act up. I am your respected master. Am I not capable of suppressing you? While speaking, Shai Meng Yi picked up a whip and approached. Demonic Chu, with a distorted face, panicked and said, Shai Meng Yi, if you're capable, don't use your pressure to suppress me. Ho Lu Fi will hear this. That's fine, there's soundproofing. Even if you scream your lungs out, no one will come to save you. Shai Meng Yi, be a little gentler with me. So Xiao Zhan and Shai Meng Yi exchanged techniques until dawn. Of course, Shai Meng Yi used the pressure of the Great Saint Realm to pin Chu villainous disciple to the bed. The next morning, unlike any other time, the one who opened the door and stepped out was the esteemed Master Shai Meng Yi. She was in a great mood, her complexion rosy and full of vitality. Not far away was Ho Lu Fei. As soon as she saw Shai Meng Yi, Ho Lu Fei approached her, smiling and saying, Meng Yi, did you take some kind of elixir? Your mood is really good. Shai Meng Yi touched her slightly worn face and smiled as she replied, Is that so? It must be that my cultivation has improved. Ho Lu Fei nodded in agreement. Recently, your cultivation has advanced very quickly. I can sense your aura. It seems you are on the verge of breaking through to the 5th layer of the Great Saint Realm. The Great Saint Realm is all about comprehension. It seems that after leaving the sanctuary, your mental state has become more stable. Not bad. Not bad. Hearing this, Shai Meng Yi certainly knew the reason for her cultivation progress. She thought to herself, all thanks to the joint cultivation with the villainous disciple during the Bagua technique. I must say, that experience greatly aided my understanding of heaven and earth. Taisu looked around and then spoke up. Meng Yi, where is Xiao Zhan? Why can't we see him? Is he still closed-door training? Shai Meng Yi forced a smile and hesitantly replied, maybe. She thought to herself, last night he stayed up all night. The villainous disciple must be too tired to wake up. Shai Meng Yi, looking a bit worried, took Ho Lu Fei's hand and asked, Lu Fei, why haven't you returned? Are you worried or something? Taisu nodded and sighed. Yeah, although Xiao Zhan has broken the curse in the primordial sacred constitution with no way to cultivate, that's only the first hurdle. Meng Yi, you've looked through the ancient books related to holy bodies, right? Shai Meng Yi's pupils showed concern as she replied, Ha! The day of the god is the biggest catastrophe for holy bodies. Heaven does not allow the primordial sacred constitution to emerge anymore, which will bring down a terrifying disaster. If he cannot get through it, he will definitely die. Waiting for the wonderful heaven and earth from the demon family, his holy body is about to reach the saint realm. Upon hearing this, Shai Meng Yi hurriedly grasped Taisu's arm and anxiously said, What do you want to do? Don't do anything foolish. Hold Lu Fai. Ho Lu Fai's eyes were filled with determination as she looked at Meng Yi and replied, At a critical moment, perhaps I can save him. Ju Bao Tower appeared before them as a towering architectural structure reaching about 3,000 meters high. Ju Bao Tower was indeed grander and more magnificent than the royal palace. This place truly lived up to its reputation as the trade association of the Tai Su Holy Ground. At the main entrance of Ju Bao Tower, a continuous stream of people was lined up to enter. This auction had extremely high standards, with only those who were important figures from major forces, wealthy individuals, or those with sufficient power being eligible to participate. Holding the invitation in his hand, the young man Xiao Zhan was thinking as he walked. I originally intended to come with respected master and Ho Lu Fai, but after searching the embassy, I couldn't find them, so I had to come here alone. While lost in thought, a voice came from ahead. Holy son, please follow me. In front of Xiao Zhan stood Dong Tian, the manager of Ju Bao Tower, an elder of the Saint Realm. He greeted Holy Son Xiao Zhan with a cheerful smile. Xiao Zhan's face lit up with a smile as he clasped his hands together and bowed. Thank you, elder. Then the young man followed the elder and directly entered the auction. Seeing this scene, a young man with a sullen face indignantly spoke up. Based on what does he not have to line up? A young man standing in front immediately mocked. Ah, if you were also the Taisu Holy Son, then you could skip the line too. The girl standing next to Xiao Zhan looked at him with eyes full of admiration and said, No wonder it's the Taisu Holy Ground, producing exceptional masters. The manager of Ju Bao Tower, Dong Tian, led Xiao Zhan into room number 1. He respectfully addressed Xiao Zhan. Holy Son, the auction is about to begin. Please sit here for now, and I will have someone bring tea and fruits. Xiao Zhan waved his hand, smiling, and replied, Dong Tian, you can go ahead with your work. No need to pay attention to me. After a while, 3 hot-looking maids came forward with tea and fruits and presented them to Xiao Zhan. Holy Son, please enjoy the tea and fruits. At this moment, in the corridor on the 2nd floor, a young man stood facing manager Dong Tian with a sullen expression, angrily questioning aloud, What did you say? Room number 1 is no longer available. He is Zhao Yi, about to become the Tai Yi Holy Ground Holy Son. Who dares to shamelessly steal my position? This young man was Zhao Yu, Zhao Yi's younger brother. Manager Dong Tian looked helpless and responded to Zhao Yu. Mr. Zhao Yu, in room number 1 is the Taisu Holy Son. Hearing about Taisu Holy Son, Zhao Yu still looked arrogant and shouted fiercely. What about Taisu Holy Son? Isn't he just a transcendent realm? Do we from Tai Yi Holy Ground fear him? Tell him to make way for me right now. Upon hearing Zhao Yu's words, the old man secretly scolded in his heart. This brat hasn't learned a bit of his brother's temperament. Does he think having some talent makes him impressive? Who is that Taisu Holy Son? He is absolutely a killer, and he is not afraid of Taisu Holy. If you dare to provoke him here, he will definitely dare to come here and kill you. Thinking of this made the old man break out in a cold sweat. He had no choice but to advise Zhao Yu. Mr. Zhao Yu, it is still better not to offend Taisu Holy Son. Let's take a step back. You can choose room number 3. Zhao Yu remained stubborn and insisted on room number 1. Witnessing Zhao Yu's dismissive attitude, Xiao Zhan just smirked slightly. The young man coldly said, Oh, under his breath, thinking, This is really interesting. At this moment, Yi Hong Yu came over, saw Zhao Yu, laughed coldly, and said, I thought who had such a big temper. Turns out it was just you, kid. What are you being arrogant about? Is having a powerful brother that impressive? Zhao Yu, enraged, gritted his teeth and pointed directly at Yi Hong Yu, saying, Show me some respect. As soon as Zhao Yu finished speaking, Yi Hong Yu unleashed a punch like a bolt from the blue to his face, causing Zhao Yu to be sent flying, crashing into the wall and leaving it cracked. Standing nearby, the old man Dong Tian did not dare to intervene. He thought to himself, It's good for this brat to be taught a lesson. It prevents him from provoking Taisu Holy Son and getting himself killed by a single punch. Yi Hong Yu turned to look at the old man, a smile appearing on his face before pulling out an invitation card and handing it to the old man. Get me room number 2 and make sure this brat doesn't disturb Xiao Zhan Marshall Brother. Otherwise, if Xiao Zhan Marshall Brother gets angry, this brat will definitely die. Upon hearing this, the old man smiled and replied, Understood. Please follow me. In room number 1, Xiao Zhan and Yi Hong Yu were sitting across from each other, chatting happily. Xiao Zhan began, Thank you, Yi Marshall Brother, for helping me out. Yi Hong Yu smiled and replied, You're being too polite, Xiao Zhan Marshall Brother. The two young men downstairs saw Xiao Zhan and Yi Hong Yu laughing and chatting merrily and couldn't help but discuss it. The young man on the left spoke up. Could it be that young Master Yi is the heir of the Yi family from Primordial? The young man next to him continued. From the way they address each other, their relationship with Taisu Holy Sun is not ordinary. Could it be that Tai Su Holy Ground and the Yi family have? At that moment, a girl with a hot body and a charming face like a flower joyfully stepped out. Welcome, esteemed guests, to Jubao Tower. This time I will be hosting the auction. The first item I am auctioning is a suit of armor that absorbs the essence of heaven and earth, formed naturally over countless years of wind and rain. Once more, it protects against all poisons and prevents blades from penetrating. After the introduction, the female host spoke up. Please place your bids. On the upper floor, Xiao Zhan sat leisurely and raised his board. 100,000 divine elemental stones. The young man thought, I'll make a low bid first to see the skill level of those present here. On this side, Zhao Yu showed a smug expression and raised his board. I'll set the price at 1 million divine elemental stones. He thought to himself, starting with only 100,000 divine elemental stones, even Taisu Holy Sun can only do that. On the auction stage, the female host lifted the second item for auction. Fairy grass. Consuming fairy grass can increase cultivation by 1.5 times. Xiao Zhan looked lazy, one hand supporting his chin, the other hand holding up a sign. 200,000 divine elemental stones. Immediately, Zhao Yu in room number 2 locked in the price. 2 million divine elemental stones. The young man smiled wickedly, secretly thinking, trying to steal my room 1? Today, I won't let you live comfortably. Witnessing this, the people in the auction house began to whisper, Who is the person in room number 2? Is he openly challenging Taisu Holy Sun? It's Zhao Yu from Tai Yi Holy Ground. He originally wanted to steal a room of Taisu Holy Sun. Some even mocked, just a person standing behind his brother, relying on his brother's name to create a stir, not worth mentioning. At this moment, the female host of the auction brought out the item that Xiao Zhan had been looking forward to the most. As everyone can see, this is a piece of celestial body iron template. The round copper table below has an unclear function, but the special material is very sturdy, also an extraordinary item. As soon as she finished speaking, people in the audience eagerly started bidding. 50,000 divine elemental stones. 50,001, 50,002. This celestial body iron template can be encountered but not sought. The material for refining weapons must be a heavenly item, and if additional materials are added, it is sure to clearly increase. Therefore, the bidding was very fierce. In room number 1, Xiao Zhan sat up straight with a serious expression, his eyes fixed on the treasure as the young man raised the bid. 120,000 divine elemental stones. In room number 2, Zhao Yu furrowed his brows and firmly raised the bid. 1,200,000 divine elemental stones. Zhao Yu stared at the celestial body iron template, thinking to himself, the flaw on that bronze round table looks just like the piece of bronze that I was given before his death. It must have a significant origin. Xiao Zhan frowned and coldly spoke. 1,300,000. The young man thought, it seems Zhao Yu is acting a bit unusually. I can yield on other items, but I cannot give up this piece of bronze. Zhao Yu glanced at Xiao Zhan and loudly raised the bid. 1,400,000. The young man thought, is he competing with me now? If you have the ability, keep raising the price. Xiao Zhan remained expressionless and stated, 2 million. Demonic Chu thought, I got 3 million from Tian Mi and Zhen Zhan, in which 1 million was spent on extremely refined materials. This 2 million is all my savings now. Zhao Yu in the next room turned dark with anger, raised his index finger, and loudly declared, 2 million, 10,000 divine elemental stones. The young man thought, this is all the divine elemental stones I got from respected master. I will definitely be scolded when I return. But for the bronze round table, it's all worth it. Seeing the auction hall silent for a while, the female host spoke up and asked, 2 million, 10,000 divine elemental stones. Is there anyone else willing to bid? At this moment, Demonic Chu sat silently, his eyes dark. All eyes were on Taisu Holy Sun. Seeing the Holy Sun remain quiet, the audience began to murmur, it's Taisu Holy Sun, not biting anymore. Someone sneered, ha ha, Tai Su Holy Ground is not easy to provoke. Zhao Yu has really caused trouble with Taisu Holy Sun this time. Noticing that no one else was placing bids, the female host of the auction loudly announced, "Alright, it's done. Congratulations to the young master Zhao Yu for purchasing the bronze round table and celestial body iron template for 2,010,000 divine elemental stones." No sooner had the female host finished speaking than Zhao Yu immediately stood up and said, "Go get the goods." The followers behind him looked confused, but there was still an hour left in the auction. The value of other auction items wasn't significant, so they didn't need to stay any longer. Meanwhile, Xiao Zhan also stood up, preparing to leave. "I have some business to take care of. Yi Marshal brother, feel free." Yi Hong Yu roughly guessed what Xiao Zhan wanted to do, and the young man raised his hand and smiled as he said, "Do you need my help? Don't underestimate me. I'm actually quite good at fighting." Xiao Zhan replied expressionlessly, "Thanks, I can handle it myself." Night fell, and in the north of the capital, a flying boat was gliding over the surface of the sea. Standing on the flying boat, Zhao Yu looked pleased, smiling as he thought, seeing Xiao Zhan's attitude towards the bronze coin, he might actually have a piece of the bronze fragment in his hands. It is smarter to withdraw before the auction ends, better have one less problem. At that moment, another flying boat appeared beside them, and a voice said, "Taisu Xiao Zhan wants to borrow something from young master Zhao Yu. I hope young master will show Xiao Zhan some favor." Upon hearing these words, Zhao Yu and his subordinates turned their heads to look. Standing before them was Xiao Zhan, dressed in a black robe, extraordinarily handsome with a dazzling smile. Next to him was a graceful girl, beautiful in appearance, radiating a different aura, exuding a cold demeanor. Zhao Yu was startled, thinking to himself, he really chased me all the way here. Zhao Yu's subordinate then spoke up to question, "The auction is originally for those who bid high. Why must Xiao Zhan Holy Sun pressure others and block their way?" Xiao Zhan replied coldly, "Pressuring someone? I just want to ask your young master to lend me something. Why must you speak so harshly?" Zhao Yu frowned at Xiao Zhan, secretly cursing his shamelessness. "If I lend it to you, it would be strange if I could get it back." Zhao Yu's subordinate shouted angrily, "Xiao Zhan Holy Sun, isn't this the same as stealing?" Xiao Zhan angrily waved his hand and replied, "Ha, if you don't show me any respect, that's fine, but don't call me a thief." After saying that, Xiao Zhan took out the Overlord Dragon Blade. "You all seem to be going too far." With the Overlord Dragon Blade on his shoulder, Xiao Zhan turned to Mo Fa Yan and said, "Mo Elder, hold that kid down. The others are for me to deal with." Mo Fa Yan responded, "Understood, Holy Sun. Be careful." After saying that, Mo Fa Yan immediately conjured two precious swords in his hands and leaped towards Zhao Yu. Seeing this scene, Zhao Yu was startled and thought, "I didn't expect Xiao Zhan to be so decisive. He acted without even talking, completely not giving me a moment to prepare." Zhao Yu's subordinate, holding an 8-trigger M-shaped Dharma weapon, turned to Zhao Yu and said, "Mr. Zhao Yu, I'll deal with that woman, you be careful." After that, he summoned a golden yellow spell formation and leaped towards Mo Fa Yan. The two collided and violent energy erupted, shaking the area beneath the ocean into tumultuous waves. Demonic Chu held the Overlord Dragon Blade in his hand, his feet stepping on the secret movement technique with talismanic symbols densely spread beneath him. In just a blink of an eye, he appeared above Zhao Yu's head. Zhao Yu's pupils immediately contracted, and he exclaimed in shock, "That was fast." Unable to wait idly, Zhao Yu immediately raised his hand to cast a Taoist incantation. Flames of blue light surged behind him, then condensed into a phoenix. It tilted its head and soared towards Xiao Zhan. Xiao Zhan's pupils were deep, emanating a bizarre red blood circle from within. Facing the blue fire phoenix, Xiao Zhan showed no fear. Instantly, from the chaotic space above Demonic Chu, a surge of energy erupted, and a black lotus descended from the sky, a celestial lotus manifesting from nowhere, forming the body of a divine anomaly. The chaotic green buds pressed down toward the blue fire phoenix. The two sides collided, producing a thunderous sound. The fire phoenix was struck by the attack, transforming into sparks that scattered in all directions with smoke and flames billowing around. At this moment, Xiao Zhan's voice rang out through the smoke. "I did not intend to fight you. It's just your harsh words that provoked this." As soon as he finished speaking, Demonic Chu appeared right behind Zhao Yu, crackling with lightning, exuding an overwhelming aura. His eyes sparkled with brilliant golden light, resembling a Buddha ghost descended to observe sentient beings. Turning his head back, Zhao Yu was immensely shocked. He barely had time to shout before Demonic Chu unleashed a fatal blow that he couldn't block. The air screamed and twisted. A terrifying radiance slashed down on Zhao Yu's back. Zhao Yu was thrown off the flying boat, blood gushing from his back, finally crashing into the water below. creating an explosion that set waves splashing high. After a moment, Zhao Yu's body slowly floated to the surface of the water. Demonic Chu stood in midair, his robe billowing in the wind, holding the Overlord Dragon Blade resting on his shoulder, silently watching Zhao Yu beneath. Unintentionally, Demonic Chu curled the corner of his mouth, then coldly snorted. Suddenly, a woman's voice came through. Holy Sun Xiao Zhan, leave a way out for others. Why must you be so ruthless? As she spoke, she infused her arm with spiritual power, gently pulling Zhao Yu up from the water. Xiao Zhan wore a smile on his face, casting a glance at the woman in front of him. The young man gasped and then asked, "Who are you?" Before Xiao Zhan stood a beautiful woman wearing a blue dress, her figure graceful. She did not respond, only stood there smiling at Xiao Zhan. At that moment, Zhao Yu was struggling to sit up. If he hadn't had the immortal-grade armor previously, his spine would have been severed by Xiao Zhan in their fight. Zhao Yu was in a state of shock, his face pale, coughing continuously as he strained to speak. Cough. Thank you, Zhen Yao Yi lady, for coming to the rescue. On Xiao Zhan's side, the Overlord Dragon Blade slowly faded away. The young man's pupils contracted as he assessed Zhen Yao Yi carefully. Zhen Yao Yi was also of the immortal sect realm. Perhaps she had not yet reached the stage of developing familial magical lineage, which allowed Demonic Chu to still have the upper hand. Carefully examining his prey, Demonic Chu spoke coldly. "Are you from the Zhen family?" Zhen Yao Yi gently nodded, her lips parted slightly. She looked at Xiao Zhan and said, "May I ask if the Holy Sun Xiao Zhan could spare Zhao Yu's life for my sake?" Xiao Zhan stood in midair, extending his arms wide and smiled gently as he replied, "If the beauty is asking for help, I am not someone who lacks sentiment. As long as Zhao Yu hands over the item, I can spare his life." Hearing these words from Xiao Zhan, Zhao Yu, who was sitting beside him, dared not speak. His face was pale and beads of sweat dotted his forehead. He could only slowly communicate the situation to Zhen Yao Yi. At this moment, Zhen Yao Yi was his lifeline. In response to Xiao Zhan's words, Zhen Yao Yi's face immediately darkened, her brows furrowing. She coldly questioned Xiao Zhan. "That item was obtained through Zhao Yu's auction. How can you act like this? Are you not being unreasonable?" Upon hearing this, Xiao Zhan's gaze grew dim. His pupils slowly revealed a mysterious blood-red hue. The young man slightly curled his lips into a smile as he looked at Zhen Yao Yi. "If you want to protect him, then let the two of you die together." Demonic Chu thought to himself, "No matter the cost, I must obtain the bronze table today." Zhen Yao Yi raised her head and looked towards Xiao Zhan. Her bright gaze was full of meaning. "Xiao Zhan, are you so domineering that you want to provoke a war between Taisu and the Zhen family?" She thought to herself, "I've heard the holy son Taisu was humble. Who would have thought he could be this ruthless?" Demonic Chu sneered coldly, "Then fight it." Finishing his words, the figure of Demonic Chu turned into a terrifying specter, his entire body crackling with electricity, his eyes shining with a fierce light. He executed the secret movement technique with all his might, instantly appearing before Zhen Yao Yi. Her pupils contracted in shock and fear. Unable to react, she silently exclaimed, "Too fast!" Immediately, Demonic Chu seized Zhen Yao Yi by the throat with his arm and brutally lifted her into the air. To Demonic Chu, as long as a woman wasn't one he recognized, no matter how beautiful, she was merely a skeleton beauty. He would kill without hesitation, heartlessly. Zhen Yao Yi glared at Xiao Zhan in anger. "Let go of your hands." Zhen Yao Yi looked at Xiao Zhan, seeing no hint of pity or remorse in his eyes, no trace of humanity left. He resembled a demonic king at this moment. Zhen Yao Yi's figure transformed into ice, disappearing on the spot. Once again, her beautiful form coalesced behind Xiao Zhan. She launched a chain, intending to bind Xiao Zhan. Demonic Chu immediately used the secret movement technique, moving to another location, vanishing right before Zhen Yao Yi's eyes. Then, the young man continued using the secret movement technique, reappearing right before Zhen Yao Yi. Demonic Chu unleashed a human emperor punch, delivering a powerful strike that was unstoppable, a force that could break all laws. Zhen Yao Yi was instantly sent flying backward, her body crashing hard against the flying boat beside Zhao Yu. Xiao Zhan coldly spoke, "I had originally intended not to strike a woman, but you forced me to take action against you." Zhen Yao Yi struggled to sit up, her eyes half closed, glaring at Xiao Zhan as she shouted in anger, "Xiao Zhan, you are not human." At that moment, from out of nowhere, an old voice rang out, "Holy Son, please do not be angry." A moment later, the space twisted, and an elderly man with white hair and a beard slowly emerged. Xiao Zhan's pupils slightly moved as he looked at the old man and coldly asked, Does this great saint realm wish to confront me as well? The old man of the great saint realm immediately shook his head, clasped his hands towards Xiao Zhan, and bent slightly as he spoke. The old man, do not dare to strike against you. I just cannot stand by and watch my daughter be killed by you. Therefore, I have no choice but to step in to stop this. By the way, its old man apologizes on behalf of the young lady, the holy son Xiao Zhan. We should not interfere in others' affairs, so please do not hold it against us, holy son. Hearing this, Zhen Yao Yi's face was full of grievance as she bit her lip and said, Old Mo, why are you apologizing to him? Are you also afraid of him? Xiao Zhan was very surprised by the actions of the great saint realm. That he would decisively bow and apologize to him was something demonic Chu did not dare to even think about. Xiao Zhan thought to himself that the old Mo referred to by Zhen Yao Yi was indeed that great saint realm, but the fact that he so resolutely bowed to apologize to him was truly a bit interesting. Xiao Zhan said, If the great saint realm has opened its mouth to plead, then I can't say anything more. You take this girl full of righteousness away, with insufficient strength wanting to learn how to act chivalrously. The result is that others can't even save you, and you end up almost losing your life. Xiao Zhan silently thought, they have come down to ask for help like this. Demonic Chu doesn't want to be too heartless. Respected master and Huolu Fai are not here with no one to back me up, so it's not convenient to play too harshly. I shouldn't provoke the other party into anger, or when the time comes when the dog takes the last straw, will I cry to. If they allow me to step down, then I'd better step down quickly. The old man from the great saint realm heard Xiao Zhan say this and smiled in reply. Thank you, Taisu Holy Son. After saying this, he tore through nowhere, grabbing Zhen Yao Yi's arm and pulling her away. Zhen Yao Yi couldn't hold back. Feeling aggrieved, she spoke up. Elder Mo, why are you apologizing to him? Are you afraid of him too? Miss, please say a few less words. This is the southern region, the territory of Tai Su Holy Ground. It's not appropriate for us to act here. It's better to make a small issue disappear. Then, Elder Mo pulled Zhen Yao Yi into the depths of nowhere. Both of them immediately disappeared from the spot, with no one left to obstruct them. Xiao Zhan slowly walked to Zhao Yu. Zhao Yu's face was pale, cold sweat continuously dripping down his face. He glanced at Xiao Zhan, only to see Xiao Zhan in front of him like a demon king, looking extremely terrifying. Zhao Yu was very frightened, dared not to say much, and immediately knelt down facing Xiao Zhan, constantly bowing his head. Martial brother, for the sake of my brother, please spare my life. How about it? Treat me like a fart and let it go. Xiao Zhan said nothing. The young man took out a formation flag from his storage item and tossed it around, quickly setting up a temporary space ceiling formation. Zhao Yu planned to take advantage of Xiao Zhan's negligence to activate the teleportation and flee, but the space ceiling formation set up by Xiao Zhan left Zhao Yu completely desperate. Zhao Yu's mouth trembled with fear. Martial brother, I will give you something. Can you spare my life? Just say a word, I beg you. You not speaking like this makes me very scared. Upon hearing this, Xiao Zhan immediately snorted, coldly raised his hand, and coldly said, Then hurry up and bring it out. Whether you live or not depends on my mood. Zhao Yu took out a round piece of bronze, smiling awkwardly as he held it out to Xiao Zhan with both hands. In his heart, he sighed, I, Zhao Yu, have been so wise all my life, yet I still ended up losing. Xiao Zhan carefully sensed the bronze piece in Zhao Yu's hand with his spiritual consciousness, and indeed, it contained the aura of the innate heavenly sword embryo. Demonic Chu tucked the bronze piece into his sleeve and once again fixed his gaze on Zhao Yu. The young man continued, Zhao Yu, your body is trembling. What's wrong? I've given you everything. Demonic Chu extended his hand coldly. Then I will take it myself. Hearing Xiao Zhan say this, Zhao Yu panicked. No, let me take it myself. As he spoke, he reached into his sleeve and pulled out the small piece of bronze. Then he obediently extended both hands to offer it to Xiao Zhan. He forced a smile and said, You need this, right? Xiao Zhan took it in hand. After examining it, the young man commented, Not bad. It seems you're quite clever. Xiao Zhan stored the bronze piece in his storage ring and thought to himself, As an innate heavenly sword embryo aura, it truly is in his hands. I was right. This time, I will make a significant profit. With a small piece of bronze, when assembled completely, it would surely lead to the secret of the future innate heavenly sword embryo aura, which could nurture the weapon for the sage, a weapon of the great sage realm, or even higher. Thinking of this, Demonic Chu felt quite pleased. At this moment, Zhao Yu's face looked constipated. He had just lost money and sustained serious injuries. The innate heavenly sword embryo aura left by his master had also been stolen. Moreover, his life was in someone else's hands. Despite that, Zhao Yu still forced a smile and spoke to Xiao Zhan. Martial brother, I have given you all my belongings. Could you please spare me? Xiao Zhan coldly pressed the Overlord Dragon Blade against Zhao Yu's neck and replied with a nonchalant smile. No. Zhao Yu was horrified, his eyes wide as he looked at Xiao Zhan. Why not? Xiao Zhan, don't be unreasonable. Xiao Zhan curled the corners of his mouth, revealing a wicked smile. To eradicate the grass without destroying the roots means it will grow back when the spring winds blow. Therefore, I prefer to eliminate it completely. As soon as he finished speaking, Demonic Chu raised the Overlord Dragon Blade high, preparing to strike down. Zhao Yu saw this, trembling in fear, and fell to his knees, crying out, "Forgive me, parents, for being unfilial. Please avenge me." Suddenly, something glowing with a green light flew in from somewhere, blocking Xiao Zhan's strike against Zhao Yu. Following this was Zhao Yi, appearing lazily, yawning widely. Zhao Yu turned his head back, overwhelmed with joy, tears streaming down his face. He choked out, "Brother, martial brother, has finally come to save me. Woo-hoo!" Zhao Yi slowly descended and smiled at Xiao Zhan, saying, "Xiao Zhan, martial brother, for my sake, please spare his life." Demonic Chu smiled slyly. "I thought you would continue to watch from the sidelines. Ha ha ha. Looks like Xiao Zhan, martial brother, has been mocked." Then Zhao Yi turned to Zhao Yu and shouted, "Come home with me immediately. You are a disgrace to your family." As he shouted, Zhao Yi kicked his younger brother in the rear, causing him to fall forward. Zhao Yu cried out in pain from his brother's kick. "Brother, can you be a bit gentler? It hurts too much to stop moving around so much. This is to reset your bones." Outwardly, it looked like Zhao Yi was scolding his younger brother, but he was actually using extremely skillful methods to help Zhao Yu realign his bones. In fact, Demonic Chu still wanted to fight Zhao Yi because he hadn't had the chance during a previous encounter at Tai Su Holy Sun on a heaven's staircase. So this time, he used Zhao Yu to force Zhao Yi into a confrontation to gauge his opponent's skills. However, from the sidelines, it seemed that Zhao Yi was not giving Demonic Chu that opportunity. Xiao Zhan smiled lightly at Zhao Yi and said, "Zhao Yi, martial brother, I've beaten up your younger brother like this. Aren't you going to take revenge for him?" Zhao Yi replied with a smile, "Xiao Zhan, martial brother, you are exaggerating. Isn't it just because he is less skilled than others that he deserves to be beaten?" Hearing Zhao Yi say that, Xiao Zhan stopped talking. With the idol already in hand and a great saint realm hovering in the sky, he couldn't kill Zhao Yu. Xiao Zhan spoke, "All right, see you again." After saying that, Demonic Chu jumped on the Overlord Dragon Blade and flew away on the sword. Zhao Yi took his younger brother up on the magical artifact and left as well. Demonic Chu curved his lips, smiling excitedly, thinking, "Today I'm tired, but my harvest is not small. When there's enough, one should stop." In the quiet night sky, a flying boat carrying Xiao Zhan and Mo Fai Yan gently glided through the air, returning to Taisu. At this moment, Demonic Chu was lying with his head on Mo Fai Yan's lap. The elder's small hands were massaging him with two weights, making the young man feel ecstatic. His eyes slowly closed in enjoyment. "Thank you, Mo Elders, for your support today," Demonic Chu said. Mo Fai Yan's face turned slightly red, and she replied kindly, "Holy Sun is too polite. Escorting you out and protecting you is my duty. But there's one thing I don't understand. Why did you kill Zhao Yu? Aren't you afraid he will take revenge in the future?" Demonic Chu turned around, resting one hand on Mo Elder's thigh, and replied casually yet with an underlying dominance, "He was defeated by me once, so he can be defeated by me again. Why should I fear him? I just pushed him further away until he couldn't even see my shadow. By then, even if he wanted to take revenge, it would be useless." After finishing his words, Demonic Chu raised his head to look at the Mo Elders, but could only see two mountains in front of him. The young man smiled wickedly and spoke, "Mo Elders, respected master, is not here, so how about Mo Elders come to my room tonight? We can discuss some cultivation issues." Hearing Xiao Zhan's words, Mo Fai Yan was startled and speechless. Why is the Holy Sun so bold today? Her cheeks flushed bright red, and with wide eyes, she looked at Xiao Zhan, weakly asking, "Holy Sun, you are definitely just discussing cultivation issues, right?" Demonic Chu sat up casually and replied, "If not, what does Mo Elders think we're discussing?" Looking directly into Mo Fai Yan's eyes, the young man smiled and pressed on. "What's wrong?" At that moment, Xiao Zhan's hand had already touched Mo Fai Yan's thigh, making her increasingly shy and embarrassed. "Holy Sun, please don't. If sect leader Yun He Feng finds out, what do you want me to do?" Hearing this, Demonic Chu moved closer to the Mo Elders, wearing a cunning smile as he said, "Then don't let them know." Thus, Demonic Chu and Mo Fai Yan exchanged techniques throughout the night. Scene change at the Northern Wilds Chu Holy Ground. The scenery here is vast and majestic. The waterfall rises over 14,000 meters, cascading down the cliffs with the mystical phoenix birds soaring freely around, creating a breathtaking beauty. Inside the Yaoxi Palace at this moment, the Yaoxi Holy Master and the Holy Daughter are seated to welcome Taisu Zi and Shai Mengyi. Looking at Taisu Zi and Shai Mengyi, the voice of the Yaoxi Holy Master gently speaks. Taisu Zi, I didn't expect you to come to Yaoxi yourself. Taisu Zi nods, her gaze sweeping across the Yaoxi Holy Master. Her lips part slightly. Today I have come here to discuss a matter with you. We will get straight to the point. Shai Mengyi, sitting next to Taisu Zi, adds, your sect wants to bring forth the legendary physique back into the world, and everyone on the Tian Qiong Continent knows about it. Our Tai Su Holy Son is the key to that. Upon hearing this, the Yaoxi Holy Daughter, who had been quietly sitting beside the Yaoxi Holy Master, cannot help but tremble slightly. Despite her calm and composed mind, waves of emotion stir within her. She secretly thinks that day has finally come. She gently turns her gaze toward the Yaoxi Holy Master. At this moment, the Yaoxi Holy Master remains seated in silence, her eyes slightly closed. She speaks, but Xiao Zhan has not yet reached the Low Saint realm. Shai Mengyi heard this, and a hint of coldness appeared in her eyes. She spoke in a firm tone. If the Holy Son is already at the Low Saint realm, then do we still need to come looking for you? Do you want to reap the benefits without working for them, just waiting to pick the peaches? It's hard to avoid being delusional. Yaoxi Holy Master, upon hearing this, was not angry. She smiled at Shai Mengyi. Sect leader Yun He Feng should not be in a hurry. On the contrary, she looked at Taisu Zi and asked, is Xiao Zhan's holy body close to the Low Saint realm? Taisu Zi's face showed a worried expression as she replied, if not, I wouldn't be sitting here drinking tea with you. I once read in ancient books that after some consideration, I came to the conclusion that now, with the holy bodies at the Low Saint realm, Xiao Zhan will face a great tribulation. If he cannot overcome it, he may die. Even if he does survive, he will be heavily injured, his vitality will be reduced, and he won't live for more than a year. At that time, if there is an innate Tao body to assist Xiao Zhan and dual cultivate with him, only then can things start to change. Hearing this, Yaoxi Holy Daughter lowered her head in embarrassment, a look of confusion in her eyes. She hesitated and softly said, this matter. Sitting opposite, Taisu Zi and Shai Mengyi were smiling warmly, looking at her with hopeful eyes. Taisu Zi spoke up, we came here this time, hoping that Yaoxi Holy Daughter can dual cultivate with Xiao Zhan to help him with his tribulation. Yaoxi Holy Master turned to Taisu Zi and asked, Taisu Zi, can you ensure that Xiao Zhan will overcome this tribulation? Taisu Zi replied, you don't need to worry about that. If the Holy Son successfully passes the tribulation, Yaoxi will gain another Taisu Holy Son as support, and the legendary physique will reappear in the world. If the Holy Son does not successfully pass the tribulation, it will be our Taisu Holy Ground that suffers the loss of a Holy Son. What loss do you have? Yaoxi Holy Master looked at the Holy Daughter, who raised her gentle voice to ask, Feng Yao, what do you think? Yaoxi Holy Daughter was silent for a long time, her face showing a hint of blush. She softly replied, whether for the sanctuary or for the respected master, I have no other choice. I agree. Hearing this, both Taisu Zi and Yaoxi Holy Master let out a sigh of relief. Respected Master Shai Mengyi, however, did not feel the same. Since entering Yaoxi, her mood had not been good, filled with various indescribable emotions. The feeling that something that belonged to her would be taken by another woman made her uncomfortable. With her emotions reaching a boiling point, Shai Mengyi silently cursed. Shit! That villainous disciple is benefiting again. A lovely sister like her is about to be tainted by him. Why am I heavenly fragrance and not innate Tao body? It's already enough that I, alone, am bullied by that villainous disciple. Feeling something was off, Shai Mengyi blushed in annoyance. She questioned why she felt this way. That villainous disciple should just die. Shai Mengyi looked very cute when angry. It was only natural to feel upset about having to share a husband with someone else. Who wouldn't feel jealous? Moreover, she was pregnant, which made her temperament even more fiery. But no matter what, she remained the foremost, a female lead, the primary wife from beginning to end. She felt like only she had the right to bully the villainous disciple. At that moment, Yaoxi Holy Master suddenly spoke, Taisu Zi, let's discuss the marriage affair. The women of Yaoxi Sanctuary do not marry outside. Hearing this, Shai Mengyi replied, why? Do you want our holy son from Tai Su Holy Ground to be a son-in-law? Yaoxi Holy Master responded, I certainly have no such intention. The two of them can form a female religion, but they will still live in their own sanctuary. If legendary physiques are born, the child will belong to us at Yaoxi, and we will raise it. Upon hearing this, Taisu and Shai Yi replied in unison. Agreed, it's settled. Taisu thought to himself, as long as I can ensure Xiao Zhan smoothly overcomes the tribulation, everything else is not important. After reaching an agreement, both sides carefully arranged the time. Then Yaoxi Holy Master and Holy Daughter saw Taisu and Shai Yi off. After the two left, Yaoxi Holy Master turned to Feng Yao and asked, Feng Yao, are you dissatisfied with my decision? Feng Yao shook her head, the white veil covering her face, revealing a gentle smile. She calmly responded, I am not dissatisfied. A great phenomenon will soon occur in heaven and earth. Now, Yaoxi Sanctuary is in a weak position. If we can give birth to a saint or innate holy bodies by the time they grow up, Yaoxi will have nothing to worry about. She understands things too well, which makes Yaoxi Holy Master even more heartbroken. I have sacrificed for the sanctuary Yaoxi already. Do you know that if you dual cultivate with Xiao Zhan, your low saint realm will drop to a level equivalent to Xiao Zhan's? Yaoxi Holy Daughter did not pay attention, she said softly. But Xiao Zhan has a solid foundation. After completing the tribulation, the disciple can recover part of that foundation. For me, this is not entirely without benefits. In the future, with that child as well, the disciple's cultivation will not stop here. At this point, her gaze turned to the distance. Thinking of Xiao Zhan, her cheeks flushed with expectation. The next morning, at Taisu Embassy, Shai Yi returned to the capital. As soon as she got back, she rushed to the room to find Xiao Zhan secretly thinking, I wonder what that villainous disciple is doing. I have been busy with this tribulation. If he doesn't thank me properly, I will make sure that villainous disciple knows who he's dealing with. Just as Shai Yi stepped to the door of the room, the door was suddenly pushed open from the inside. It was Mo Elder's Mo Fai Yan stepping out. She looked flustered, beads of sweat on her body, her face flush, her long black hair a mess, and her clothes disheveled. Seeing this, Shai Yi's head was filled with enormous question marks. Mo Fai Yan and Shai Yi locked eyes. Shai Yi was astonished, her eyes wide open, while Mo Fai Yan was extremely flustered. She hurriedly explained to Shai Yi, I only did that with the Holy Sun because of the upcoming great calamity. Sect leader Yun He Feng, don't blame the Holy Sun, it's all my fault. I am about to break through into the great saint realm, so I will take my leave now. Having said that, Mo Fai Yan immediately flew away. Shai Yi was extremely angry at this moment, veins bulging on his forehead, his eyes filled with killing intent as he glared at the villainous disciple and shouted, Villainous disciple, what good thing have you done? Demonic Chu, seeing her respected master return, hurriedly stood up, adjusted her clothes, and spoke. Respected master, let me explain. You have to listen to my explanation. At that moment, dark clouds rolled in over the capital, covering the sky for several kilometers. Thunder and lightning roared, and the air felt oppressive. The Mo Fai Yan elders had begun their tribulation. On this side, in Xiao Zhan's room, Shai Yi sat with her arms crossed on the chair, frowning at the villainous disciple, questioning him. Shameless, I just left for less than a day, and you've already been in contact with the Mo elders. Xiao Zhan knelt on the floor, caught red-handed, but the villainous disciple continued to argue. Me and the Mo elders were just discussing some cultivation issues. While babbling, Demonic Chu thought, why has respected master been so jealous lately? I should have known to go into the woods with the Mo elders to discuss martial arts. Seeing the sly face of the villainous disciple annoyed her even more, she angrily grabbed Xiao Zhan's ear and pulled him towards her, frowning as she yelled, Your holy bodies are about to reach low saint realm. Have you prepared for the tribulation? Xiao Zhan grimaced. Ouch, that hurts. Respected master, be gentler. Despite being angry, the most important thing was still Xiao Zhan's tribulation, so she tried to hold back. In the next 2 days, the saintly sovereign will set up a great formation outside the capital city to assist you in your tribulation. During these 2 days, you must adjust your state well for me. Don't engage in shameless acts anymore. Otherwise, dying in the lightning tribulation would be well deserved. Demonic Chu rubbed her ears and forced a smile as she replied, Yes, the disciple will obey the teachings of the respected master. 2 days later, outside the capital city, about 10 kilometers away, Xiao Zhan was sitting in the center of the great formation. The matter of Xiao Zhan's tribulation was taken very seriously by everyone at Tai Su Holy Ground. Taisu personally took action, leading the long pulse of the great Ming Empire, gathering the essence of heaven and earth, and without hesitation transporting tens of thousands of divine elemental stones, which were then transformed into liquid pure essence, forming a pond for Xiao Zhan to absorb. Taisu's grand gesture naturally attracted the attention of other forces. Below, in the center of the great formation, Xiao Zhan was sitting cross-legged with his eyes closed to adjust his state. The respected master stood outside, looking down with deep concern. She sent a voice transmission. Villainous disciple, are you ready? Xiao Zhan turned his head, smiled at her, and replied through voice transmission. Don't worry. Mo Fai Yan's face was also full of worry. She sent a voice transmission to Xiao Zhan. Holy son, you must be careful. Xiao Zhan replied, Ma'am. Standing beside him, Taisu also transmitted a message to Xiao Zhan. Don't worry, I will protect you completely. I will pass on the Taisu Divine Son's Emperor Realm Dao Palace, heaven to you. With this martial art, your chances of survival during the tribulation will increase significantly. Thank you, saintly sovereign. As soon as she finished speaking, Taisu Zi's eyes brightened. Her fingertips emitted golden characters that directly transmitted into Xiao Zhan's mind. The Taisu Divine Son's Emperor Realm Dao Palace. Heaven immediately appeared in Xiao Zhan's gaze. The Taisu Divine Son's Emperor Realm Dao Palace. Heaven is the strongest life force in the capital. It is completely different from mimicry art. Mimicry art can only heal injuries but cannot restore the original life force. In contrast, the Taisu Divine Son's Emperor Realm Dao Palace. Heaven is the original life force of a cultivator. Therefore, those who cultivate the Taisu Divine Son's Emperor Realm Dao Palace. Heaven possesses a powerful life force that far exceeds that of other cultivators, even several times stronger. Everything was ready. Holding a wooden box, Xiao Zhan ordered the system. System checked the personal interface. The system immediately displayed the notification. Master Xiao Zhan, Transcendent Realm Level 6, Special Physique. Primordial Sacred Constitution Quality, 3999. Sword Intent, Heaven Killing Sword Intent. Cultivation Techniques, Path Scripture for Foundation Establishment. Holy Body Cultivation Method. Taisu Divine Son's Emperor Realm Dao Palace. Heaven, Dao Palace Secret Technique. Secret Movement Technique. Ascend to 7. Ascend to the Central Rule Movement. Ascend to 7. Human Emperor Punch. Sword Technique. Prioritize all matters. Remaining 1127. Breakthrough points 47,520,000. Fortune points 1,674 light purple to 5,890 light purple. Comprehensive strategic evaluation. Joint strategy 35 times. Touching the forbidden area of the 8th realm. Xiao Zhan opened the wooden box. Inside was the life divine fruit, the size of a fist, its entire body snow white, resembling a pier, with Tao energy swirling around it. The fragrance of the fruit spread in all directions. Xiao Zhan took the fruit out of the box and brought it to his mouth to eat. While eating, Xiao Zhan called the system, help me cultivate the Tao Sutra. The system immediately displayed a notification. Detection shows that the master has a primordial sacred constitution. Cultivating the Tao Sutra to break through the divine bridge realm will result in a significant increase in energy consumption. It is estimated that this time a breakthrough will require 5 minor celestial spheres, each minor celestial sphere consuming 500,000 breakthrough points. In the sky, dark clouds gather, slowly forming a gigantic energy vortex. Lightning flickered right above Xiao Zhan's head. Xiao Zhan thought inwardly, what? Isn't a fetal form? It can be understood as a fetal form to nurture the kind of divine ability. If the fetal being grows strong, it can naturally nurture a higher quality of divine ability. Therefore, the Taisu Divine Son's Emperor Realm Dao Palace. Heaven becomes the strongest power recognized by everything. At this moment, countless Tao Sutra insights flooded into Xiao Zhan's mind. Sitting at the center, golden light filled the entire divine platform around Xiao Zhan's body, completely enveloped by the ancient radiance of the Tao Sutra. The system displayed a notification. Breakthrough completed. Total consumption, 2,500,000 breakthrough points. Congratulations to the master for achieving the transcendent realm. Activating the special reward from the system due to the master's breakthrough. Lightning tribulation will descend after 5 breaths. At this moment, the system mocked. Ha 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 ha. Please prepare well, master. Looking up at the heavenly lighting tribulation looming above, demonic Chu wore a confident expression, smirking as he thought, with the help of Ho Lu Fei, reaching level 10 of the transcendent realm will be very easy. As soon as the thought crossed his mind, a purple lightning bolt tore through the sky and struck down towards Xiao Zhan. With fiery eyes, the youth looked up and shouted loudly, "Come on!" The terrifying lightning tribulation immediately struck down, creating a massive explosion, sending rocks flying and clouds of dust rising. Standing outside the grand formation, Shai Meng Yi, Mo Elders, and Tai Su Zi were closely observing Xiao Zhan's tribulation situation. Mo Fai Yan spoke up with concern. The holy body's lightning tribulation is about to begin. The momentum of this lightning tribulation is too strong. Shai Meng Yi and Tai Su Zi remained silent. but their faces display worry. Taisu Zai thought to himself, "Kid, don't die on me." Over here, Xiao Zhan was still straining against the lightning. Demonic Chu was enveloped in a layer of golden lightning. The outer layer of his clothing was torn apart by the lightning, revealing a body of bulging muscles. Golden lightning continued to strike relentlessly. At this moment, within a radius of several dozen kilometers, numerous flying boats floated everywhere. Every major faction, regardless of whether they were humans or monsters, was present here. The Holy Body's tribulation was merely a legend to them. Now that they were fortunate enough to witness it, they felt moved and stirred. Some hoped Xiao Zhan would survive, while others hoped he would die. On the flying boat of the Zhen family, Zhen Yao Yi, with an expressionless face, looked at Xiao Zhan undergoing the tribulation and asked, "Father, do you think Tai Su Holy Son can successfully withstand the tribulation?" The old man of the Zhen family answered, "If that kid's holy body can reach the low sync realm, he will become a unique existence. Unfortunately, heaven and earth do not allow it. This kid is destined not to survive." On the flying boat of Tai Su Holy Ground, Zhao Yu looked extremely excited, watching Xiao Zhan undergoing the tribulation and laughed, "Ha ha, heaven has eyes. Let more lightning tribulations strike him down." What? "If Xiao Zhan dies later, you have to come down with me and retrieve the treasure I bid for." Zhao Yi sighed and replied, "I'm afraid you won't have that opportunity." On the flying boat of the Yi family, Yi Hong Yu looked worried, standing with her hands clasped in prayer. "Xiao Zhan, martial brother, I believe you will survive. You must come back alive. We still need you to guide us for the film shooting on Tian Qiong Continent." In another space, the Golden Ape Monster King and a group of Demon Tribe members were lying in wait. The Golden Ape bared its sharp teeth and said with a cunning smile, "The Holy Body's tribulation is a matter of great importance. If defeat is imminent, Taisu Z will surely intervene and will have to endure the Great Taoist counterattack. She will definitely be seriously injured. At that time, it will be the perfect opportunity for our demon tribe to defeat the human race. If we can take the chance to eliminate Taisu Z, the human race will be like having a broken limb, no longer posing any threat to the demon tribe." An hour later, the transcendent realm lighting tribulation dissipated. The dark clouds dispersed and rays of sunlight slowly appeared. Standing on the flying boat, Yi Hong Yu continued to pray, "Martial brother Xiao Zhan, hang in there. You are a real man." Zhao Yi said, "This lightning tribulation is strong, but it doesn't reach the power of the legendary Holy Body's lightning tribulation. This is not yet the Holy Body's lightning tribulation. This is just the lightning tribulation that Xiao Zhan is breaking through." Zhao Yu responded in astonishment, "Oh shit, if this is just the lightning tribulation for breaking through, then how strong must his Holy Body's lightning tribulation be?" Not long after the transcendent realm lightning tribulation had passed, the sky began to gather thunder and lightning. In an instant, 7-colored cosmic phenomena appeared out of nowhere. At that moment, the sky's scenery dimmed significantly, affecting the surrounding area for hundreds of kilometers. Countless people looked up at the sky, their faces changing in color. Flying boats quickly dispersed, leaving the area of the Holy Sun Tribulation. Zhen Yao Yi's pale face spoke up. "Holy Body's lighting tribulation is about to arrive, isn't it?" Below, Xiao Zhan looked up at the sky and yelled loudly, "Come on!" Respected Master Shai Meng Yu was very worried. His hands clenched tightly, staring at Xiao Zhan, thinking to himself, "Villainous disciple, you must not die. However, I will no longer use my coercion to suppress you in the future." Bang, 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 fearsome golden lightning struck down on this place, causing the surrounding area for dozens of kilometers to tremble violently. At this moment, looking inside Xiao Zhan at Nirvana Shore, there was a small house at the center beneath the highest peak, surrounded by a fence. In front of the courtyard was a stone table, on which a chess tray was laid out forever without a victory or defeat. Next to it were 2 reclining chairs. Xiao Zhan thought to himself, the inner world of cultivators is never the same. It could be said that the palace reflects the inner self of the cultivator. He once thought that time could fade everything, but it seemed he was still too young. Unexpectedly, after 100 years, the inner world within him still looked like this. Boom! A dragon-shaped lightning tribulation struck down from the 9 heavens, enveloping demonic Chu completely. The temperature rose rapidly, causing all the brilliance around Xiao Zhan to turn golden in an instant. The aura dispersed in all directions, turning into a skeleton. All consciousness was focused inward. Instinctively, Xiao Zhan immediately invoked the mimicry art, rapidly reshaping the surrounding brilliance. Demonic Chu's face was full of excitement as he smirked and thought to himself, "So I have completely refined all of this. If I can cultivate all of these into forms and then merge them, what level of miracle products will I achieve? At the very least, it should be a divine product, and it might even reach the legendary Emperor grade." In another space, a member of the demon tribe curiously asked, Golden Ape Monster King, can we not take action yet? The Golden Ape Monster King, with his sharp-toothed grin, kept his gaze fixed on Taisu and Xiao Zhan, replying, The time has not come. The Holy Sun has not yet reached the Holy Body's lightning tribulation. Meanwhile, Zhao Yi, with a grim expression, spoke softly. He has continuously broken through the scenes before the Holy Body's lightning tribulation. Breaking the scenes are incredibly terrifying. I can hardly imagine how strong Xiao Zhan's Holy Body's lightning tribulation is. It has never been seen before. Hearing Zhao Yi say this, Zhao Yu's eyes widened in shock as he exclaimed, What are you saying? He hasn't reached the Holy Body's lightning tribulation yet. Zhao Yi replied casually, You should really be thankful. That day, he didn't kill you. At this moment, the sky above the capital and several dozen kilometers around it were covered with dark clouds. Mutant lightning continuously shot out, flickering everywhere. Bang, bang, bang. The mutant lightning collided with one another, creating large explosions in the sky. Flying boats quickly turned around to flee, and everyone's faces were filled with panic as they backed away. Quickly retreat. The Holy Body's lightning tribulation is too terrifying. Run away. Taisu's face was serious, her eyes full of worry as she looked at Xiao Zhan, and she said, The Holy Body's lightning tribulation has really begun. As soon as she finished speaking, waves of mutant lightning immediately struck down upon Xiao Zhan. The young man gritted his teeth and joined his hands, using all his strength to operate the Taisu Divine Sun's Emperor Realm Dao Palace, heaven together with the mimicry art to restore his life essence and heal the injuries on his body. Suddenly, the Holy Body's lightning tribulation underwent a transformation. Right above Xiao Zhan's head, the mutant lightning gathered, forming a river bright red like blood. Taisu, standing outside, sensed the danger. Only she could help Xiao Zhan now. She immediately flew towards Xiao Zhan. Shai Meng Yi and Mo Fai Yan, standing nearby, realized Taisu's intention and quickly reminded the saintly sovereign, Be careful. Bang bang, the river of blood struck down directly from above Xiao Zhan's head. Without hesitation, Taisu used her body to shield Xiao Zhan from this lightning tribulation. The Golden Ape Monster King watched from a distance, thrilled by this scene, shouted, Finally, she can't just stand by and watch anymore. Our chance has come. Following the words of the Golden Ape Monster King, the demon tribes surged to their peak, weapons in hand, ready to launch an attack. Over here, Taisu gritted her teeth, training to withstand the relentless downpour of mutant lightning. Because she forced her intervention into the Holy Body's tribulation, she was immediately hit by the Great Dao's counterattack, leading to serious injuries. Xiao Zhan sat below, his body covered in wounds, and his consciousness began to blur. The Golden Ape Monster King held an iron staff in his right hand slung over his shoulder, while his left hand pointed directly at Taisu. He opened his mouth wide, filled with teeth, and launched his attack. In his heart, the Golden Ape Monster King thought, Taisu is forcing her way into the Tribulation Holy Bodies. She will definitely be subjected to the Great Dao's counterattack, resulting in serious injury. If I can eliminate her here, it will revive our demon tribe. Ha ha, Taisu, don't blame us. This is the best opportunity to deal with you, and we must seize it. At the sound of the Golden Ape Monster King's attack, 8 high-level creatures stomped nowhere and simultaneously made their move. Each one was incredibly fierce. This time they brought 5 divine-level weapons. Silver Moon Butterfly, some Tian Qiong Rock, Van Demon Valley, Van Demon Seal, Vong Sun Demon God Tribe, and Man and Kun Thien Demon City Demon Emperor Pass. Taisu appeared indifferent, with no sign of panic. Her left hand formed a seal, forcibly bringing out 5 drops of pure blood that floated above Xiao Zhan's head. She thought to herself, the demon tribe has indeed taken action. Taisu immediately transmitted her voice. Xiao Zhan, I have placed 5 drops of pure blood above your head. These 5 drops of blood essence can form a defense to help you withstand the Tribulation Holy Body's lightning tribulation. Xiao Zhan, with a confident expression on his face, smiled and transmitted sound. Thank you, Taisu Saintly Sovereign. I will take over from here. You can rest assured and engage in battle. A moment later, Taisu appeared outside the space several dozen kilometers away. Her complexion was very weak at that moment, but her voice was full of majesty resonating through heaven and earth. If you want to encircle and kill me, then come out into the open space. Just in time, I want to be a little more forceful today. Follow me, let's enter the barrier and have a little fun without involving innocent people. After finishing her words, Taisu waved her hands, causing countless colorful lotus petals to appear. In an instant, those lotus petals formed a gigantic formation in the shape of a lotus, enclosing Taisu along with the Golden Ape Monster King and 8 demonic sovereigns inside. A demon lord with large wings on his back spoke up. Taisu has forced out her blood essence. She is very weak right now. With the Great Dao's counterattack affecting her, she is definitely seriously injured. We must seize the opportunity to eliminate her together. At the same time, the Xiang family, the Yi family, the Zhen family, Tai Yi, Yao Bang, Yao Si, and 6 great saint realms also appeared. We will go to assist Tai Su Saintly Sovereign. If she dies, the human race will lose an arm, and it will be hard to resist the demon tribe. Among them, there are those who are dissatisfied with Taisu Z, but they also have good intentions towards her. Regardless, all of them hope that Taisu Z does not lose her life. If she must die, the human race will definitely suffer heavy losses. They do not want to see such an outcome. Thus, at this moment, the Saint King realm from all the forces headed towards the outer universe to assist Taisu Z. Below, Xiao Zhan, no longer receiving the support of the Taisu Divine Tower, watched as time passed and the 5 drops of Taisu Z's blood essence were quickly crushed. When the 5th drop of blood essence was crushed, suddenly, the blood of the lightning tribulation poured down onto Xiao Zhan's body like a waterfall, continuously and unrelentingly. This caused demonic Chu to continually spit out bright red blood. Shai Meng Yi and Mo Fai Yan, witnessing this scene, felt incredibly anxious. Mo Fai Yan's forehead was dotted with beads of sweat, and with a worried gaze, she softly called out to Xiao Zhan, "Holy Son." The respected master Shai Meng Yi, standing beside her, was even more worried, tensing up as she clenched her fists to silently encourage him. "Villainous disciple, you must hold on." Below, a thread of blood suddenly appeared from demonic Chu. It came from nowhere and quickly wrapped around Xiao Zhan's right wrist, shocking demonic Chu. The system immediately displayed a notification. Detected that the master has connected with the blood fortune of the human race. The climax of the holy body's lightning tribulation is about to occur. Please prepare well, master. Raising his hand in front of him and staring at the thread of blood wrapped around his wrist, Xiao Zhan asked the system in astonishment, "What is the blood circulation of the human race?" The system opened a cunning smile and replied, "Ha ha ha, has the master seen the corpses in the river of blood yet?" As soon as the system finished speaking, a strand of blood thread wrapped around Xiao Zhan's wrist projected an image right in front of him. Inside that image, there existed a river of blood filled with blood essence. Xiao Zhan looked into the river of blood and couldn't help but be shocked. Inside the river of blood, countless corpses floated, all of them belonging to the human race. What exactly is this river of blood? Where does it come from? Why does it appear in the holy body's tribulation? Xiao Zhan furrowed his brows and asked the system, "Don't tell me that this river of blood is formed by the accumulation of blood essence from the human race. How many people must be sacrificed to reach that level?" The system then replied, "Ha ha ha, master, your understanding is not wrong. The human race is indeed very tragic." At that moment, countless chaotic memories surged into Xiao Zhan's mind. These memories were scenes of the human race devouring each other, the human race killing each other. Why is there so much resentment among the human race? Where does it all come from? Why does the human race act like beasts, ready to turn on one another? System, why am I seeing these images? Xiao Zhan asked. Response system. Ha ha ha. Their appearance must have a reason, but the will of heaven should not be revealed. Because too many mixed memories rushed straight into the brain, this made Xiao Zhan extremely uncomfortable. The young man immediately raised his hand to cast a spell, adjusting his body, calm like water, clear water like heart. Calm and unshaken. Above, Shai Meng Yi and Mo Fai Yan elders felt relieved when they saw Xiao Zhan was fine. Mo Fai Yan looked at Xiao Zhan with anticipation and softly spoke. "Is the Holy Son about to succeed in his tribulation?" Respected Master Shai Meng Yi remained silent as she looked at Xiao Zhan, her eyebrows slightly furrowed. She thought to herself, "Villainous disciple, you are truly impressive. You must persevere until the end." At this moment, Xiao Zhan's holy body's lightning tribulation underwent a change. Countless mute lightning bolts broke through the space, quickly forming a blood-colored figure over 2 meters tall, strong in build, holding lightning in its hands. The powerful radiance was at the same level as Xiao Zhan, as if it were a clone. This was also the humanoid lightning tribulation, which, according to legend, only appeared in the quasi-emperor realm tribulation as an anomaly. Xiao Zhan also immediately condensed a figure of himself to confront the humanoid lightning tribulation. At this moment, the lightning tribulation figure directed its attention straight at Xiao Zhan, raising its lightning strike to hit directly at the center of Xiao Zhan. Xiao Zhan's expression remained unchanged as the young man used the secret movement technique to disappear on the spot, then utilized the secret movement technique to fully mobilize himself at the fastest speed. In the blink of an eye, the phantom of the human emperor appeared in front of the lightning tribulation figure. The phantom of the human emperor threw a punch, exuding an overwhelming power that was hard to break. With just one punch, he turned the opponent's entire body into dust. The lighting tribulation figure dissipated, dark clouds scattered in the sky, and rays of sunlight slowly shone down. At this moment, countless cultivators focused their eyes on Xiao Zhan. Some were entertained, some were shocked, and others expressed endless resentment in their discussions. Successful! The holy bodies have passed the lighting tribulation. Yi Hong Yu couldn't help but exclaim joyfully. Xiao Zhan, martial brother, well done. A group of monsters standing far away, upon seeing Xiao Zhan's success in the tribulation, angrily cursed. Damn it, that guy is still alive. I didn't expect a human race holy body could succeed in the tribulation. I hate humans. Below, Xiao Zhan took out a robe and draped it over himself, half kneeling in place on the magic circle. Xiao Zhan turned his head to look at the elders Shai Meng Yi and Mo Fai Yan flying from afar. When Xiao Zhan's gaze met Shai Meng Yi's, the villainous disciple smirked. Respected master, I have successfully passed the tribulation. Shai Meng Yi still had a hint of worry on her face as she looked at Xiao Zhan. It seems you are not injured. I am fine, just consumed a bit of my original life force. Cultivating in the Taisu Divine Sun's Emperor Realm Dao Palace for 10 days to half a month, and I can recover. Isn't this all thanks to respected master for teaching me well? Xiao Zhan replied. Shai Meng Yi pouted. Oh, what's there to be proud about? Quickly take a healing pill. It will help you recover. As she spoke, she tossed a vial of medicine to Xiao Zhan. Thank you, respected master, Xiao Zhan said. Shai Meng Yi immediately frowned. Villainous disciple, this time the saintly sovereign was seriously injured because of you. He is still engaged in battle at the barrier with the demon tribe. In the future, he must think of a way to repay this favor. Respected master, rest assured, I will definitely repay the life-saving grace of the saintly sovereign. Xiao Zhan replied. Little did Shai Meng Yi know, the villainous disciple was currently wearing a wicked smile. The system, seeing this, teased. Ha ha ha, a man like the master cannot repay with anything else. He can only repay with his body. Out of nowhere, a thunderous explosion suddenly occurred, causing the entire world to shake. The blood of the Holy King poured down like falling meteors. Each drop of blood that fell to the ground created a large pit, astonishing everyone who witnessed it. Seeing this scene, Xiao Zhan exclaimed, This is... Shai Meng Yi was in a panic. The Holy King has died. Shortly after, there were 2 loud explosions, and 2 more Holy Kings lost their lives, leaving it unclear whether they were from the human race or the demon tribe. A moment later, a radiant glow appeared in the sky, and Taisu Z gradually stepped out, stepping on nowhere, her clothes tattered and hair disheveled. She coldly shouted, The demon tribe has been defeated. All non-human races get out of our human territory immediately. Otherwise, don't even think about leaving. Her authoritative voice caused the demon tribe and the cultivators to feel a wave of panic. The imposing and cold tone of Taisu Z made everyone turn pale. He immediately opened a gigantic spatial gate, leaving the demon tribe, holy kings, and various monstrous cultivators inside, leaving the southern region. In the battle with the beastmen, the human race and Taisu Z successfully defeated 2 enemies, killing 2 holy kings, 1 beast king, and 1 demon lord. Their achievements could be said to be quite aggressive. Unfortunately, Tai Su Holy Ground suffered, with the old saintly sovereign facing the beast king Vong's son, becoming bloodied and ultimately falling.